go. Welcome back to episode 33. A little bit of a, what's the word? Sentimental number for me, 33 and 74. I wore 33 when I played for the San Jose Sharks and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Where else did I wear 33? I think that was it. I wore 23 in junior. But anyways, it's episode 33. Welcome back to UnHammered with Brantt Myhres, your host, and episode 33, man, 33 weeks. Hey, isn't it crazy how fast time flies? Isn't it? Like, we started this, back early June, and now we're just sort of rolling around the corner in another year, and anyways, yeah. So anyways, hey guys, hopefully you guys, remained unhammered the last 7 days. If you did, that's great. I know that some of you have because you write in and talk about it. But for the folks that are struggling, that's okay too. I got a couple messages from people that are really having a hard time, man. And this fucking thing's no joke. So why don't we do a cheers to the miracle, everyone? As we do. If you've made it 24 hours, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year without drugs or alcohol, how about we raise a glass? Whether you're working out, skipping, jumping, running, or hiking, cheers, bang. Well, my New Year's resolution, I went back on it. I'm like, no more fucking sugar in this thing. But anyways, today is day one. I went and put sweet and low in the coffee. And you know what? No, it doesn't taste as good. Of course, it doesn't taste as good as French vanilla, but it's called a little bit of sacrifice. And, I'm going to have to. My son, I was in bed the other night with him watching a movie, and Kay and I were lying there, and he doesn't say, like, are you in shape? He goes, are you in shapers? So anyways, I looked at him, I go, hey buds, I go, is daddy in shapers? He's like, no. I go, really? I go, where's my belly? He goes, right here. He starts smacking my belly. I'm dying laughing with this fucking 3.5-year-old human on my bed about, he doesn't know, right? I go, well, Pinky promise you that I'm going to go work out. He goes, no, you won't. So I don't know if he knows me better than me, but I did make it to the gym today, and I've got sweet and low in the coffee. So anyways, okay, everybody, why don't we read a meditation for the day and see if we can relate to it. I need one more. See if we can relate to it. Okay. So meditation for the day. I pray only for strength and that God's will be done. I will use God's unlimited store of strength for my needs. I will seek God's will for me. I will strive for consciousness in God's presence, for He is the light of the world. I have become a pilgrim who needs only marching orders and strength and guidance for this day. Okay, that's the meditation. Why don't we do what the prayer says? I pray that I may seek God's guidance day by day. I pray that I may strive to abide in God's presence. Yeah, I mean, when I prayed this morning, actually both times, so it would have been last night and this morning, I really wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I think that maybe my expectations are a little bit too high of people, places, and things, and I get let down. And sometimes I get fucking frustrated, and I don't want to pray. I'm like, really, this again? I gotta pray again. I gotta get on my knees. I gotta close my hands. I gotta humble myself. Fuck. But like anything else, it's not what my head says, it's what my actions are. This thing here, at times, not all the time, sometimes it likes me. It's going to take it easy on me. And other times, woohoo, she's like Armageddon. And speaking of Armageddon, You guys see the California fires that have raged through the Pacific Palisades and the PCH, Malibu. I did, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I have friends that live there. I talked to a girl who lost her home. Dom, she lost her home, and what a sweetheart. I haven't seen her in a while, but I just reached out, and then a couple other people that I sort of know. Sheldon knows them well. They lost their homes. I got to tell you what was really interesting about those fires for me when I watched it was the winds. I don't know if you noticed how powerful the winds were. I believe they were between 60 and 80 miles an hour. The palm trees were like, it looked like not even something out of a movie. I mean, I've watched 2012 and the movie Armageddon. This had a bit of a different tone. It did. It was weird to watch. It was just like, you see fires, and even the one in Maui, that was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. And I don't know what, I believe the residents of Maui got $700 from the United States government in relief. Isn't Hawaii aren't they considered the United States? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. $700 fucking dollars? Really? Well, Mr. Biden came out, when was it? Last night? I don't even know if he was fucking awake or sleeping or what. But they're pulling the strings on him. And anyways, he's talking. And he says that he's going to give relief to 100% of all Californians that were affected by the fires for 180 days. And awesome. That's like one of the best things I've heard. But then you hear about Maui and you're like, why the difference in funding? Like $700, like that just paid for my my oil change and my fucking cable bill. These guys lost their homes down in Hawaii. Anyways, hopefully that maybe some more funds can get allocated to Hawaii, to all the people that lost their homes there too. I mean, why not do 100% for 180 days in Hawaii? Hopefully they do, But anyways, those fires, man, I hope everybody's okay. I know that there was probably, they say 11 deaths from it, or 12, I believe, and then just fucking devastation down the coast. It was incredible. Man, you want to talk about rebuilding? It's going to take some time. But anyways, hey, who wrote in? Who wrote in here? Somebody did. This guy's name is Jacob W. He was writing a note, and then he said, what I'm trying to say is up until a few short weeks ago, I was in the lowest point I can recall in my 29 years of life, where not only my life was being affected, but the people around me as well. Brantt, I stumbled upon your podcast one early morning while lying in bed, continuing my habits. And it has gave me a new, fresh outlook on what can be achieved. And I've been unhammered since Boxing Day. Atta boy, Jacob. Right on, bud. So what are we looking at here, bro? You're probably a little over 2 weeks now, eh, bud? Right on. Keep it going, Jacob. This guy's name is Chris W. Hey, Brantt, I just wanted to say I'm 2 years and 7 months sober. I just found your podcast. Cool. Inspiring stuff. About to buy your book as well. Where can I purchase that hat you wear? Tried it online. Can't find it. Yeah, you can't find it right now, but you're gonna. Like I've mentioned prior, me and my best friend Sheldon Surrey are working on a project called UnHammered, and it's not the podcast. It's something else, and that will entail merchandise. So we're going to get on that. We're going to get on that when this thing gets going. We're looking at probably, from what I understand, everybody, probably 90 days. That's not that long That's not that long. That's 3 months, right? January, February, March. So maybe like mid-April. Have some more news on that. So anyways, congratulations, you two. Remember, guys, we chatted about last week? What do you see when you look in the mirror? I know that I was going to tell you what I see today versus when I wasn't turning the lights on. I wanted to see what you guys thought about when you looked in the mirror, when you walked by it. Maybe tell me. And what do I see today? Well, I think I see somebody in the reflection that has a lot of scars, and is inside still sort of crying for help. Maybe some nurturing. But those scars that I also see that I've accumulated over my 50 years on this planet have made me into the man that I am today. And I can honestly say that one of the biggest things that I'm proud of is my honesty. I don't lie to people anymore. I don't fuck you around. And I give it to you straight. I do. So I think being honest for me is one of the first things that I see. So when I look at Brantt, it's honesty. Secondly would be, I would say, my dad always talked about character, treat others as how you would like to be treated. And I do that. Even in a situation that I'm in right now where there's somebody in my life that, my default is not to treat them well. It's not to treat them well, but I have to treat them in a certain way that is respectful. Because they're not feeling very well. They're sort of ill, and they've been ill for a long time. So I have to remember that. So anyways, character. Treat others as you would be like to be treated. And I know it's sort of a cliche, but I believe in karma. I do. I believe in what comes around goes around. So I feel like it's just sort of a natural thing to do. So I see a man with scars, but those scars have built me into the character that I am today. What else? Yeah. There's also a hurt little boy in there somewhere, with what I went through as a child. And then there's also a hurt man, it's the hurt man too. And I guess I'm a work in progress. And I'm trying hard to be a good person. And, I think that's all that really matters. So what do I see? I'm happy with what I see. I'm happy with what I see today. And those lights are fucking turned on bright when I go in the bathroom. So what do you guys see? All right. Hey, I was thinking, why don't we read step 1? You guys know what step 1 is, right? All you listeners out there. Where are you? Here we go. I like it, man. Honestly, I've read this before to start, I think maybe like 6 months ago, or no, 5 months ago, whatever it was. I think this might be, for me, one of the most amazing, powerful chapters that I've ever read in anything. And here's how it goes. Step 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol and drugs and that our lives had become unmanageable. Has that happened to any of you? Have you realized that you were powerless over drugs and you were powerless over alcohol, and was your life unmanageable? Okay, who cares to admit complete defeat? ? Practically no one, of course. Every natural instinct cries out against the idea of personal powerlessness. It is truly awful to admit that, glass in hand, could be the crack pipe too. We have warped our minds into such an obsession for destructive drinking and drugging that only an act of providence can remove it from us. What does that mean, everybody? That would mean somebody like a higher power, something that is stronger than yourself, that you can sort of lean on. And I guess it would be lean on. No other kind of bankruptcy is like this one. Alcohol and drugs now become the raptest creditor bleeds us of all self-sufficiency and all will to resist its demands. Once this stark fact is accepted that our bankruptcy as going human concerns is complete. But upon entering AA or NA, we soon take quite another view of this absolute humiliation. We perceive that only through utter defeat are we able to take our first steps towards libertation and strength. Yeah, I would admit that. I think many of you that are listening that have the disease of addiction would agree with that, about being defeated. Yeah. Our admissions of personal powerlessness finally turn out to be our firm bedrock upon which happy and purposeful lives may be built. Amen to that. We know that little good can come to any alcoholic or drug addict who joins AA or NA unless he or she has first accepted his or her devastating weakness and all its consequences. Period. Until he or she humbles himself, his or her sobriety, if any, will be precarious. Of real happiness, he will find none at all. Jesus Christ, don't we all want to be happy? Fucking I do. I want to be happy. Not all the time. I get it. It's impossible to be happy all the time, right? But it'd be pretty cool, once in a while. Proved beyond doubt by an immense experience. This is one of the facts of AA and NA life. The principle that we shall find no enduring strength until we first admit complete defeat is a main taproot from which our society has sprung and flowered. Cool. When we first challenged to admit defeat, most of us revolted. We had approached AA and NA expecting to be taught self-confidence. Then we had been told that so far as alcohol and drugs is concerned, self-confidence was no good whatsoever. In fact, it was a total liability. Man, I'm relating to everything, everybody. How about you guys? Our sponsors declared that we were victims of a mental obsession so subtly powerful that no amount of human willpower could break it. Man, I relate to that. I look to women. I look to the NHL doctors. What else did I look for to break it? Maybe a couple coaches, teammates. Yeah, man. I look to everybody but God. I believed in God, but I didn't get down and humble myself on my knees until that morning of February 18th, 2008. Up until then, though, I was self-will run riot, doing it Brandt's way, and hoping that some other human was going to be able to get me out of this fucking shithole. And guess what? None of them could. None of them could. There was, they said, no such thing as the personal conquest of this compulsion by the unaided will, relentlessly deepening our dilemma. Our sponsors pointed out in our increasingly sensitivity to alcohol and drugs, an allergy, they called it. Fucking allergic to this shit. The tyrant alcohol and drug wielded a double-edged sword over us. First, we were smitten by an insane urge that commanded us to go on drinking and drugging, and then by an allergy of the body that ensured we would ultimately destroy ourselves in the process. God, I'm so grateful I didn't fucking die. I'm able to sit here and talk to you beautiful humans that are trying to improve your life. Few indeed were those who assailed ever had won through a single-handed combat. It was a statistical fact that alcoholics and drug addicts almost never recover on their own resources. And this had been true apparently ever since man had first crushed grapes. Wow, that's awesome, man. Okay, how much we got left? We'll read the rest next week maybe, hey? That's cool, man. I love that one. Do you guys like that one? Hey, what happens? Let's see what happens. I was wondering if there was like any, repercussions in the brain, from alcohol and drugs over the years? You know, how has it, have you noticed anything in your recovery as you've recovered from all of the abuse that you've done over your life? I do once in a while. Yeah, I do. I mention it, right? The tightness of the head, loss of memory. What else? I can get like fucking that. I can snap, you know, not in a real bad way or anything, but my temper, my reaction is quick, and really got to sort of just breathe at times. But so how trauma, we were talking about trauma, right, in the brain, and so how trauma impacts addiction and recovery. Okay, let's see here. Where is it? Self-medication. Trauma often leads individuals with intense emotional pain, anxiety, or depression. Alcohol and drugs can become a way to numb these feelings. I'm going to say, what do you guys think? Fucking 99% of you? Example, someone with PTSD may turn to alcohol to manage flashbacks or hypervigilance. I don't know. Sorry, I fucked that up. Brain chemistry changes. Here we go. This is the one I sort of want to know about. Trauma affects the brain regions like the amygdala, emotional processing, and prefrontal cortex, decision making. Okay, these changes can increase vulnerability to addiction by altering stress responses and impulse control. Okay, child trauma and risk. Okay, what do we got here? Early life trauma, such as abuse or neglect, can have a long-lasting impact on brain development and increase the likelihood of substance abuse later in life. Wow. So, guys, maybe I was like sort of, I wouldn't say predisposed to this thing, but looking back, man, as a kid, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm like, do you call me a baby? Do you call me a baby at 5.5 years old, 6 years old, seeing that type of stuff, the type of physical abuse? And then getting sexually abused at 10? Man, maybe got a lot of trauma. I do got a lot of trauma. Childhood trauma, yeah. Trauma's impact on recovery, unresolved emotions resurfacing. During sobriety, individuals lose the numbing effects of substances, causing buried emotions and memories to resurface. Without proper coping tools, this can lead to a relapse. Thanks for tuning in. This is a bit of a coping tool, isn't it, everybody? I know it is for me weekly. I do other stuff, but this is a bit of a coping tool. Triggers and relapse. Traumatic memories or situations that resemble past trauma, can act as powerful triggers, making it harder to stay sober. I've realized that. Fear and vulnerability. Trauma survivors may avoid seeking help or opening up in recovery settings due to fear of judgment or being re-traumatized. Okay. Pathways to healing. Trauma-informed care. Recovery programs that address trauma alongside addiction. Therapy, specialized groups, support groups are crucial. Okay, mind-body practice, that kind of stuff. Yoga, yeah. Nervous system building. Okay. Here's the key takeaway. Trauma and addiction are deeply intertwined, everybody. But understanding this connection can empower individuals to seek appropriate help. Recovery is not just about overcoming addiction. It's also about addressing the underlying pain and rebuilding a fulfilling, sober life. That is true. I believe that's why, I've seen a therapist 15 times already. When you remove the alcohol and you remove the drugs, life can, it looks really like daunting, and then you just sit in the shit sometimes, man. You sit in the shit. And that's why I say sobriety is not for pussies. Try it. Fucking try it. If you don't believe me, go out there and try it. You know what? No, not 90, not 30 days. Why don't you go 3 months? 3 months. Why don't you go 90 days with nothing? Nothing. Working out, eating better, reading from the book, going to meetings, calling people that need your help. Try it. See it. Believe me, it's no joke, man. People think it's easy. It's not. But it has a reward system too, like everything, right? No sugar, sweet and low, reward system. Maybe I'll lose, 5 pounds in the next, 5 days. Anyways, I thought that was interesting about trauma in the brain, eh? What do you guys think? All right. This is an interesting sort of topic. Any of you guys ever think about committing suicide? Any of you guys ever think about taking your life and ending it? That was a low part in my life. I write about it in the book, and I was out of hockey. It was 2007. It was right before the New Year's, and yeah, man, everything was just not looking good, and I was out of, I was staying at someone's house, and I was in bed, and I remember I was in bed, and at this point I had nothing left in my life other than a bed to sleep in. My father was letting me use his old Jeep, and so anyways, I had no money and nothing, but I did have some cocaine somehow. I found it. And I was lying in bed this night, and I had a dog with me. And this dog was, I don't remember what kind of dog it was. It was like a German Shepherd, and it had hair all over the place, right? They shed. So anyways, it's probably 4 a.m. It's a really cold night out. And I'm sitting in bed, and there's a mirror to the left of me, okay, or sort of almost in front of me, and I have my underwear on, and now I've done so much cocaine that I'm really starting to sweat here. My heart rate's really picking up, and as we talked about the mirror, the difference today, I look over in this mirror, and guess what I see? I don't see what I mentioned earlier on in the show. I had a beer belly that was hanging over my underwear. I had sweat rolling down my face. And the look on my face when I was looking at myself was desperation, and I'm done. I'm done. So I think I do my last line of coke, wipe the sweat off my forehead, and I go lay in this hairy bed because it's just dog hair everywhere. And as I'm laying there, there's a window. And I can see outside, and it's like a really cold night out. So everything's crystal clear, and there's all these stars out there. And I just remember saying at the time, I can't do this anymore, and take me home. I don't want to live anymore. And within, I don't know, this is weird because anybody that's done cocaine, when you do that shit, you're up for fucking hours. Within a minute, I was sleeping. I was sleeping in a minute. Yeah. And it was a peaceful sleep. And I woke up. And that was the start of the journey. But have any of you dealt with wanting to take your life? And I know what it feels like. And I feel for you. If you ever had, or if you're thinking about it, call me, reach out to me, and we will talk through that together, because I have been there. I've been there. And anyways, funny how that whole mirror thing, right? What else here? How you guys holding up? Good? Jeez. Yeah. Any of you guys think that going to school is important? I didn't. I didn't. I thought, you know what? Grade 9's good enough. I think I'm going to drop out. You know what? I'm going to go to the NHL. I'm going to make millions of dollars. And, I'm going to be set for life, as they say. And, well, what do you know? Stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, suspended for drugs. And then 5 was a lifetime ban. So there I was at 33 years old, after spending, a couple $1,000,000 and sitting there with grade 9 going, now what? I'm like, well, what do you know how to do? Nothing. Well, what can you do? I like BMWs. Well, go sell BMWs. So I go down to the BMW store, put my suit on and walk in there and, hey, can I get a job? Guy's like, you like cars? I'm like, yeah, I love cars. He's like, great. He's like, yeah, you can start. You can start on Monday. He's like, but you're not going to sell BMWs. I go, what do you mean? What am I going to do? Because you're going to go right over there. You're going to sell Mini Coopers. I go, what? I go, I can't even sell like new cars. I got to go to the used side. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So I walk over. Next thing you know, I'm trying to do up deals for the Mini Cooper. And unfortunately, I think I sold 1 or 2 cars in the month, and my salary that month was $500. So, my advice to anybody that is playing hockey or any type of line of work, take school seriously. You do not want to end up like me at 34 years old over selling used cars in the Mini Cooper section. Believe me, if I could take it back, I would. I'd go back to school. So anyways, that was that. What else about that Mini Cooper thing? That was interesting. How I got fired was some lady walks in and she goes, hey, is this a 2007? I said, yeah, I think so. She goes, open up the hood. I want to see what's under it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a turbo or something. So I go to open up the hood, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to open up the hood of the Mini Cooper. So the manager comes out and goes, you don't know how to open up the hood? I said, no, I think it's an 06. And changed it in 07. He goes, you're done. So he got the hood open for her. She bought the car. But anyways, yeah, stay in school. Stay in school. Take it seriously. All right, everybody. Okay. So why don't we read a little passage from the book. There's a chapter here that I really like, and we'll probably get into it next week, everybody. It's called A Vision for You. And where is it? It's a long chapter. I guess I should have bookmarked this thing, but holy crap, is it ever? Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Our book is meant to be suggestive only. We realize now only a little. God will constantly disclose to you and to us. Ask him in your morning meditation what you can do each day for the man or woman who is still sick. The answers will come if your own house is in order. But obviously, you cannot transmit something you haven't got. See to it that your relationship with God is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is the great fact for us. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit. And you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you until then. Right on. Let's stay unhammered another 7 days, everybody. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and building a little community here. info@unhammered.com. If you have any requests or messages, send them to me. We will see you in a week. And stay unhammered. Thanks. Bye.